I just happen to be doing, happen to be, I'm always doing research. And, I got to thinking about Tim Duncan versus LeBron James. Because I announced in a video, a couple videos ago, that I had dropped LeBron below Hakeem Olajuwon. I dropped him to fifth. And, in the midst of thinking about, LeBron versus Tim Duncan, I got to thinking about other players that I'm just not really certain LeBron deserves to be ahead of. And the name Wilt Chamberlain came up. And as I mentioned in the prior video, these conversations tend to go in a certain vein. So, people will, in an attempt to persuade people that LeBron is the GOAT, they'll cite his statistics. Then people like me will respond with, well, what about his finals record? That disqualifies him. So the argument is that LeBron's statistical argument is strong enough to make him the GOAT. So what they say is, well, he can't really help the fact that he never really had a lot of help. I'm just paraphrasing what they say. The argument, he never really had quite enough help, but look at what he did in the finals and the 8 straight finals, and blah blah blah, all the longevity stats, 40,000 points, what is it, 11,000 assists, rebounds, etc., etc. And I responded to that argument a few videos ago, and I asked the question. I said, well, how is it that LeBron passed Wilt Chamberlain? If the argument is largely statistical, okay? If you're saying that LeBron is your GOAT, then you're saying, his case is a largely statistical case. When did he pass Wilt Chamberlain? Now, we don't really have advanced metrics. I think we do have career win shares. Wilt obviously played only 13 seasons. So we don't have value over replacement and box plus minus. We don't have PER, et cetera, et cetera. We don't have advanced metrics for the time in which Wilt Chamberlain played. But what we do have is we have the statistical leaders for that particular time. In other words, we have the scoring champions for that particular time. We have the scoring champion, we have the rebound champion, we have the assist champions, year by year. And what's amazing about Wilt Chamberlain is more accomplished in the thing that LeBron sets his bona fides in terms of. LeBron's case is a statistical all-around case. So the argument is that LeBron, nobody has done as much as well as LeBron James. Okay. But that's not true. That's not true. Wilt Chamberlain did. Wilt Chamberlain has. No one in NBA history, and I'll take this video down and stand corrected if somebody can, prove me wrong. But no one else in NBA history, except for Wilt Chamberlain, has a scoring title, a rebounding title, and an assist title No one else has led the league in assists, led the league in scoring, and led the league in rebounds. Okay? By the way, he has 10 rebounding titles. Okay? And 7 scoring titles. He finished in the top 10 in assists 4 times. Okay? Virtually all of his career had been, completed by the time the all-defense team started. He's got a couple of all-defense selections. Okay? So, I don't really see how LeBron has a statistical case over Wilt Chamberlain. So he doesn't have a winner's argument, and he doesn't have the statistical argument. It's kind of the same thing that they say when we talk about the rings. Well, they say, well, if it's about rings, then it's Bill Russell. Well, I would argue that both Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have a better winner's argument than Bill Russell. Okay? In other words, relative to the talent that they played with. In other words, if you were to surround either Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan with, 8 Hall of Famers, they'd get that same 11, 12, 13 championships. Okay? I want somebody to give me a statistical argument for why LeBron beats out Wilt Chamberlain. I don't think it can be done. Wilt Chamberlain, and this is aside from the 50 point per game, which I argued in one of my earlier videos that Kobe's 2006 season was better than Wilt's 1962 season. But that 1962 season beats anything LeBron ever did. By far. LeBron got 1 scoring title, 1 assist title, and has never even come close to getting a rebounding title. So, the greatest all-around player in NBA history, that belongs to Wilt Chamberlain. So, I'm gonna have to do some adjusting to my. I think now the question I have is, do I have? The problem with Wilt is, is bad intangibles. It's bad. Those bad intangibles. Like he actually did play with quite a bit of talent, and he just didn't do anything with it. I've got Kareem as my greatest center of all time. I guess what I'm saying here is that it's now debatable in terms of my thinking, Wilt Chamberlain versus Dream for that second slot. I think I'm going to stay with Dream. It's just, those intangibles. They've got the same number of championships, and Wilt played with far more talent, far more. Okay, Hal Greer, and then just embarrassing losses, like to lose to the Knicks when Willis Reed has a broken leg. And then to lose to Bill Russell when he was coaching the team. It's just hard to really, it's hard to put him above somebody that, that really, really put his team on his back and got every bit of, success out of the talent that he, was able to play with. So, LeBron is not ahead of Wilt Chamberlain statistically, and so I want somebody to prove me wrong. Have a good day. Bye-bye.